Hello, everyone, and I hope you're doing well. We're here at the book fair for a special episode of Tell Me About. Together, we will still discover young talent and gifted people who succeeded or who are still working in different fields such as art, science, innovation, education, and more. I'm one of those who truly believe that age is just a number. You can be successful at a very young age. Dear viewers, today we're having with us two beautiful minds, two special guests. Miss Ariela Knight, welcome to Channel 7.
Thank you so much.
How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Thanks for having me.
With pleasure. And Miss Fatma Zahra Zemouchi.
Thank you very much for having me.
How are you?
I'm fine, and you?
Welcome to Channel 7.
Thank you very
The
much.
Knowledge Channel, your channel. So, Ariela, welcome to Algeria.
Yatek saha. Thank
you.
you.
You speak Arabic. Come on, it's an English-speaking show.
I had to show off.
Yes, you
With
had
my one word.
You had to. So, welcome to Algeria.
Thank you.
So, can you please tell us more about you? Who is Ariela?
Well, as you said, my name is Ariela Knight. I am here in Algeria running an English school that I founded. We are called the American Institute. We are an English school and a cultural center with classes online and in person.
That's great. And how did you end up in Algeria?
Well, actually, I came to Algeria and the plan was just to come for 10 months. I came on a scholarship called the Fulbright Scholarship, where the U.S. State Department places English teachers in schools around the world. So I was assigned to Algeria. I went and taught for 1 year at the ENS in Bouzareya.
Yes, school's
And-
teacher.
Exactly, and 10 months was not enough. I fell in love with the country, I fell in love with the people, I saw a huge opportunity to bring something new, something different, and now I am here to stay, inshallah.
Welcome.
Thank you so much.
Miss Fatma Zahra. So, tell us more about yourself. How was your school career?
All right. So, first of all, I'm a teacher of English. I'm an instructor at Berlitz. And my journey with learning started at a very young age, like everybody else. Okay. My love for the English language made me become a teacher of English. So I studied really hard at the
How
university.
did you discover that
Yes.
language? There was no internet back in time.
Okay.
15 years
Actually,
ago.
I lived without the internet for a while.
Yes.
And then internet, was there, and we discovered internet like everybody else. So it wasn't like it is right now, because we used just emails, we used to chat with friends and things like that. And actually, that was a good opportunity for us back in the days, just to be in touch with the language, because we couldn't find like a lot of places where we could go and practice our English. So we used the internet. We used to chat with people from different nationalities and so on, and English was the language. So the other thing is actually songs. I really fell in love with the language because I'm like a big fan of.
Which song did you discover first?
Did I discover first? Okay, that this takes me back to, it's like the boys bands.
Whoa.
Don't judge me.
I won't.
Yes,
I used to love boys bands.
because I was.
Dear viewers, don't judge me.
Yeah, I remember I was still in middle school, so there were like a lot of boys bands coming from the UK, from the US, and so on. So I used to learn the songs by heart.
Songs, lyrics.
Yes, and because we did not have internet, so I had to, listen closely to what they were singing, and I used to write the lyrics myself.
Wow.
So, yeah, it was fun. I created a lot of sentences that did not exist in songs.
And that's an accurate way of learning.
Yeah, but it really helped me. It really helped me to improve my English as a person, like as a young student in middle school.
That's great.
Yes, after that I went to university, of course, and I pursued my studies there in teaching and didactics and so on. So, and here I am today.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Ariela, back to you. So you studied at Colorado College?
I did, yes.
and then at Georgetown University.
Yes.
Did you ever see yourself teaching in Algeria?
Definitely not. I studied international relations, so I was always interested in traveling abroad. I lived and studied in India and in France and in Spain. So
Did you learn the local language?
in India, I did
Whoa.
a little bit of Hindi. In every country, I try to learn some of the language with more or less success.
Spanish is easy.
Spanish is easy, but I did not really retain it. French is the best, of course, because I still use it here in Algeria.
Yes.
And then I'm of course trying to learn Algerian Arabic.
Yes.
But no, Algeria came onto my radar. I started noticing Algeria really because of this scholarship, because it was the first year that Algeria was part of the scholarship. And you know, on the map of Africa, when they light up Algeria, it's such a big country.
Yes.
It lit up the whole
Biggest country in Africa.
It lit up the whole northern continent, and that really attracted my attention. What is this country? Why do someone who studied international relations, I didn't know anyone who had even traveled here or visited here. That was so interesting to me. I like adventure, and that's what brought me in at the beginning.
And it surprised you. It was a discovery.
Oh yes, it surprised me a lot.
And now you opened your own school.
That's right.
Tell us more about your school.
Well, so we are the American Institute. As I said, we have English classes. We're an English school, so we have classes for kids and adults, as well as a cultural center. So this means we have a library open to students with a big table. We have clubs every day. We have book club, we have comedy club, we have public speaking club. I'm hoping to launch a games club. I love
Comedy
games.
club, if you launch it, I'll be part of that club.
Yes, we have a very popular comedy club. The idea is to create an immersion environment. So the moment you step foot into the American Institute, you're in a mini America. All of our classes, we have the New York classroom, the Boston classroom,
Yes.
the Chicago classroom, and then truly it's a chance to practice your language, how it's actually used, to develop your speaking, and really to develop your confidence. Leave the textbook behind, leave the grammar behind, and fall in love with this language even more.
Yeah, I wish you all the luck.
Thank you
Best
so
luck.
much. Thank you.
Fatma Zahra, you have a master degree in linguistics.
Yes.
And
I
then
do.
you found yourself teaching English.
Yes.
How? How did you become an English teacher with your master's degree? And now you have international certifications.
Yes.
So tell us more.
Actually, I started teaching in 2006. So it was really right after I graduated and after getting my BA, I mean. And then it's like I worked for a number of years before I went back to university and opted for a master's degree. It's all about the learning process, you know? It's like teaching is a very noble, let's say, profession, okay?
Yes.
So, exactly. And I think most of us, I don't know about you, but I think most of us when we were young, okay, we played the role of a teacher. Okay, at least once
Yes.
in our lives.
I will
or in
not
our
admit it
childhood.
I
in
agree.
front of the camera. I won't
Ah,
say.
good. So you wanted to be a journalist from
I won't say anything.
yeah, all right. Okay. So exactly. So that's the thing. It's like at a very young age, I used to teach my neighbors. Okay.
Really?
Yeah. Something like for fun, you know,
Yes.
playing the teacher. We used to take roles. Okay. It's like each time there's a new teacher in the group. So this is maybe how it started. But after that, you know, teaching is a big responsibility.
Yes, it is.
So it's not just what you know, what you learned. So you need to train yourself. You need to find new opportunities to get better every day. And this is exactly what I did. So after getting my BA, I got some experience in teaching. It was related to kids, which really helped me. I got training. I had many opportunities to be trained in that field, so it was really helpful. But after a period of time, I was like, okay, how about teaching adults now? Okay, now that I have some experience with kids, I would like to try something different. So that's why I opted for another kind of training, and I did my CELTA degree. okay, just to have an idea about how to deal with adults in a classroom, about preparing the lessons for EFL classes and ESL classes and so on. So that was really helpful. And of course, going back to university helped me a lot as well, because you've got, the educational part where you have all of the theories and all of about all of the scholars who
Yes.
worked on different matters concerning education and so on. And of course, I did not stop there. So I went back and I opted for a PhD, and now I'm a PhD student as well.
Congratulations.
Yes. Okay, and this helped me a lot with throughout all of my career. Okay. For example, each time I joined a new school, I learned something new from my colleagues, from my mentors, from the students themselves, because they teach us a lot of things. So, and I ended up at Berlitz now.
Great.
So, and it's really amazing because we are in contact with people from all walks of life.
Exactly. And recently, the United States organized an event, the National Spelling Bee. That's where I met you. I met both of you. So we will follow this short report and we will come back. Algeria National Spelling Bee is a competition organized by the American Embassy in Algiers, and participants are asked to spell a selection of words with different degrees of difficulty.
So impressed that you guys have done this, right? You've come from all over the country. This isn't your first language. And to stand up in front of a crowd with lots of lights and cameras is pretty awesome. So you should feel very proud. And I congratulate you for your courage and your confidence to do this. Thank you.
Spelling bees. It's a very American tradition, but it's a great way to improve your English, because in order to spell a word correctly, you have to understand what it means and understand its origin, since so many English words come from different origins, whether it's Greek or French or German or various other national origins.
Spelling bees became widespread across the United States as a way to motivate students to learn standardized spelling.
This is a really fabulous experience. We do spelling bees all the time, every year in the United States. This is the first time in a few years that we've done one here in Algeria, and I just want to say how impressed I am by these young Algerians who are learning to spell in English, which is not easy. English spelling, I think, is one of the hardest spellings of all the languages, but Algerians are very good at languages because they come in already speaking Darija, speaking Fusha, they speak often Francais, and some of them also speak Amazighia, so they already have a background of languages, and so adding on English on top of all that for many of them is actually quite easy, as you can see by these fantastic spellers here today.
Participants came from all over Algeria. They have been chosen after regional competitions.
Well, it's not fear, actually. It's just you feel stressed in the competition and so, and it's a mix of stress and happy. I did a promise and I realized it, so it's a big honor.
At first, I was very doubtful about myself, but my friend gave me a word of confidence. So that kind of gave me a push to put a bit more effort, and thankfully I won the regional. I'm surprised to be in this point, just around hundreds of people. I mean, I don't know how many people are here, but I'm just proud to be here, and I'm very grateful. Alhamdulillah.
Kids and adults were there to do their best to win.
When I was little, I told my parents, since I learned English really well, I asked them if I can have a YouTube channel, and they definitely said yes. So I got a YouTube channel up, and now I got a lot of views, and that's because I want to make my language go more, not down, but go even more, so I can make everybody happy for me.
This may sound easy, but it's not. Even native speakers can make mistakes while spelling words.
Well, it's a real honour. I mean, I was just talking to one of my fellow judges, and the quality, the standard of the English that these young people and Algerians in general speak is amazing. I'm always particularly impressed at the number of people I meet who have learnt English through listening to music, through watching videos on YouTube. That sort of ability to teach themselves is really phenomenal.
This kind of event is a great opportunity to show the level of the Algerian participants and to discover other cultures.
In the English language domain, we do a couple of big things here. We do a project called Access, where we give scholarships, 2-year scholarships, to students from all over Algeria, every part of the country, and this allows them a 2-year period to learn English.
هذه المسابقة هي مسابقة وطنية، وهي المسابقة الأولى من نوعها في الجزائر على المستوى الوطني، ولكن قمنا بعدة مسابقات جهوية من قبل في المراكز الأمريكية في كل من بشار وقسنطينة وورقلة ووهران والعاصمة الجزائر. ثم اخترنا الفائزين في فئتي الشباب أو الأطفال والكبار، والآن ها هم أمامنا في العاصمة الجزائر حتى نختار من بينهم فائزا واحدا يمثل الجزائر.
This was the American spelling bee in Algeria, the Algerian national spelling bee. Ever since it's an American tradition, Ariela, could you please give us more details about this tradition?
Absolutely. I was thrilled to see Berlitz and the U.S. Embassy organizing this because this is a beloved tradition in the U.S. Where I was from, they did a spelling bee every year for the 4th graders. So these were students who were 10 years old, and we looked forward to it. We waited for it. It was a big thing. The whole town comes, and you always remember the word you got wrong. For your whole life, you remember the spelling bee word you got wrong. And I will share, actually, this one was my sister's word, but she almost won the spelling bee. I think I was out early, but she was maybe 3rd or 4th place.
So you participated in spelling bees?
Oh, yes, definitely. We all did. And she lost on the word substitute. Instead, she missed the T. Instead of substitute. Anyways, It's a big tradition.
Great. And now it started taking place in Algeria.
It's amazing. It's amazing to see.
What do you think about the participants' level, the Algerians' level?
I was very impressed. So I was the pronouncer during the event,
yes,
which meant that between myself and the judges, we were choosing how difficult the words would be. So we started really on a not difficult level, and I thought some of the participants would make mistakes.
Yes.
We had to go really far. We had to go to the most difficult, way more difficult than I expected before they started to make mistakes.
I remember at the kids category, they started getting kicked out after the maybe 11th or 12th round.
It was amazing. And we kept going, okay, well, we'd go to the judges and say, let's make it harder. We'd go back, no one would make a mistake.
Yes.
Okay, even harder, no one would make a mistake. It was really impressive, really impressive.
Yes. And you, Miss Fatma Zahra, you were a judge at this event.
Yes.
So what do you think about the Algerians' level?
Actually, I agree with her completely. The level was really, really, really impressive. Looking at, seeing such young people,
yes, young.
really,
10 years old, 12 years old.
Absolutely, excelling at spelling. Okay, that was really impressive. And the fact that they were very, dedicated. So they studied really hard because I saw them with the lists, it's like they had to download lists and they were really studying really hard
yes,
to get there. So I really congratulate all of them, including the winners, of course. They really did a great job.
And it was a long run.
Absolutely.
After regional competitions in Oran, Constantine, Algiers.
Absolutely. By the
people
way,
came from, let's say, all over the country.
Exactly. By the way, we used to do this at Berlitz For us, it's something that
I
we
heard.
usually have it. So our students are familiar with the spelling bee. We had our competitions at our level, yes, for many years as well.
Amazing.
So watching this going, nationally throughout all of the country, it made me really proud as someone who works for Berlitz as well. Yes. So
That was a really great event.
yeah, it was. It
Yes.
was. And even as we said, all of the participants were quite amazing. It's like their level at
And
spelling
this is allow
was
our
really
youth
something.
to learn better the English language.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And what I really liked about their learning process is the fact that they were having fun. Okay, they were really enjoying the
Everything is
competition.
about having fun.
Exactly, and their passion. It really showed, and I'm sure you agree with me
I
concerning
couldn't
this.
agree more. Yes, definitely.
They were really, really passionate about their hard work, their dedication, and they were there just to prove that they could do it because they studied really hard for that competition. And of course, for me, it's like all of them are winners.
And just like the kid's winner said, he said, I made a promise and I
Yes.
did it.
Yes,
You see how important it was for him, for all the
Absolutely.
participants.
absolutely.
It was not just a game.
And I loved how it was made into something really special. Some of the kids, it was their first time out of their wilaya,
Yes.
first time in Algiers. They came with their families.
Just like you said, Algeria is a big country. Some people came
Yes.
from Bashar.
Exactly.
Yes.
And we looked out. You could look out and see the faces of the parents, just
Proud of
so
their kids.
proud, so proud, and on the edge of their seat when their kid is spelling. It was really touching. The whole
Yes.
event was so touching.
Thanks to you.
Well, thanks to really Berlitz and the U.S. Embassy, and I came
Yes.
in to pronounce. That
Yes.
was my contribution.
So, Ariela,
Yes.
you said earlier that you're having clubs at your school.
Yes.
Could you tell us more, please?
Absolutely. So, as part of being a cultural center, we hope to be a home for the English language. This means even if you don't have time for a traditional class, or perhaps you have a high level but you want to use your English, you want to keep it active, or perhaps you want to increase your level and you're a little nervous, you need to find opportunities to relax. And to come at the English language outside of a traditional classroom. So we have clubs for all of these cases. We have, as I said, comedy club, we have book clubs, we have theater clubs.
For theater clubs, last day you told me that you're planning a great theater club
Yes.
and you want to make the Algerians play English or American theater plays.
Yes, absolutely. This is one of my great ambitions, is I would like to, we say, put on a play. So you organize students, everyone gets a different part in the play, and you plan for a performance with an audience. I would love to do this in English, not just for kids. I know traditionally this is children who do this, but for adults, for university
Come on, I'm not
students.
a child. Come on.
Yes, for you, Yassine. Come join.
With
Bring the
pleasure.
drama, get on stage. It's amazing for confidence,
I always
for
wanted to
pronunciation.
play Robin Hood.
Yeah, okay, with pleasure. Robin Hood, the first play.
Okay, the role is mine.
Okay,
All
all
right.
right, all right. This one is yours.
So you want to make them play classical American plays, the most famous ones.
I would like to start with classic plays, yes, because it will help with vocabulary. It will also help with cultural references. A lot of learning a new language is understanding the references. What are the jokes about? When we talk about famous authors, what are we mentioning? What time period were they? So really making it multiple goals in the same thing. It's an arts project, but it's also a learning project. I also have had many requests from Algerians to write plays and
Yes.
then produce and perform them in English. So we
You
can
c-
do
you
that
can,
as well.
You can also translate Algerian plays.
With pleasure, it's a great idea.
Yes,
it's a wonderful idea.
We have world-class plays.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Open them up to a broader audience, have them in English. Truly, the cultural exchange component is very close to my heart. I love this idea.
Like a friend used to say, culture is the solution.
I love that.
Yes. He says that wherever he goes,
Mm-hmm.
at 3 or 4 times a day, So it's his sentence.
This is his motto.
Yes.
Yes, well, I completely agree.
And Miss Fatma Zahra, like I said, maybe we can make Algerians play Algerian plays in English.
Yes.
According to you, how can we make the translation easier?
Yeah, okay, that's a good question. Now, maybe, for example, when we talk about idiomatic expressions,
Yes.
that would be the most challenging part, or else the rest, I think, will be easy, will be much easy. We have, it's like our students have some good level in English, and they can start with the translation, and then they can be guided,
Yes.
okay, by
Some
professional
expressions
translators. and-
are really hard to translate.
Yes, because we're talking about cultural
Yes.
aspects and so on. So, and the idiomatic expressions are quite challenging to
Yes.
translate. So maybe we try to find some equivalents, okay, or just keep them, okay, and translate them into English. And we'll add some new expressions like Algerian expressions
Yes,
in English.
I love this idea. I was thinking the same thing. So they
Yes.
say the idiom in Algerian Arabic or in classical Arabic, the audience will love it and laugh, and
Yes.
then we can give the translation so that the audience knows that you're translating a classic idiom. They
And-
can
Yes.
still get the
And
joke.
maybe you can also mix American and Algerian plays and make one play.
Yes, why not?
Yasina, let's go. I'm putting you in charge of the theater program.
He's got a lot of
He's-
ideas
he's
already.
I remember last year I worked with a young group of people in Tlemcen. It's in the west of the country. They take Muhammadi texts and they make them theater plays. They turn them into theater
Wow.
plays. The result is really amazing.
Amazing.
Yes.
Okay, we need their contact information, I think. This is a really
With
interesting
great
idea.
pleasure.
Yes.
And you were talking about students, right? University students,
Yes,
to include
yes.
university students and so on. So it would be a good opportunity for students who are studying translation already.
Exactly.
So they are familiar with our plays, with our, the books, the literature, and so on. So they could have a lot of ideas as well to add to the program.
Maybe, I don't know if this would qualify as a thesis, but
That would
imagine
be
a
very
thesis
good
project
thing.
would be to
Absolutely.
translate
Yes.
a classic Algerian author or text and produce a play in English.
Theater play, yes.
Absolutely.
Wow.
When Algiers and Broadway meet.
Yes.
100%. Look at this brainstorming we're having.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's like true.
So, ladies, thank you for being with us.
Thank
It's
you so
really a
much.
pleasure to have beautiful minds just like you. And welcome whenever you want on Channel 7, the Knowledge Channel. Thank you for being with us, Ariela.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the invitation, Yassine. This was a pleasure.
Miss Fatma Zahra, thank you for being with us.
Thank you very much, and thank you for having me here.
Dear viewers, remember, you're never too young to start an empire, and you'll never be too old to chase a dream. Thank you for being with us. Next time, we will discover other beautiful minds. See you soon.